Imagine a world teetering on the brink, where the threat of global conflict loomed large. It was in this tense atmosphere of the Cold War that a unique and often overlooked category of weapon began to take shape. Not designed for the battlefield of tanks and bombers, but for the volatile streets and tense standoffs of internal security. This is the story of the ARWEN, a less lethal weapon born from geopolitical rivalry, yet destined for a lasting, global impact. The genesis of ARWEN, which stands for Arms de Reaction Rapide pour la Neutralisation d'Exécution or Rapid Reaction Weapons for Neutralizing Threats, can be traced back to the late 1960s and early 1970s. The international political climate was dominated by the ideological struggle between NATO and the Warsaw Pact. This intense rivalry fueled advancements in military technology across the spectrum, including those aimed at controlling civil unrest and potential urban warfare scenarios. The development was spearheaded by British ingenuity, specifically by a company that would become synonymous with this innovative approach to less lethal force. The need was clear: to provide law enforcement and military units with a tool that could incapacitate or deter individuals or groups without resorting to lethal force, thereby minimizing casualties and avoiding escalation. One of the primary driving forces behind the ARWEN's design was the increasing frequency of public demonstrations and civil disturbances throughout the Western world in the late 20th century. From student protests in Paris in May 1968 to anti-war demonstrations in Washington, D.C., the need for more sophisticated crowd control measures became paramount for governments. The initial concept focused on projectile delivery systems that were more potent than traditional crowd control tools like tear gas or rubber bullets, but less lethal than standard firearms. The goal was to achieve a high degree of accuracy and stopping power at relatively short to medium ranges, suitable for urban environments. The AR-137, one of the earliest and most recognizable models, emerged in the late 1970s. Its distinctive design featured a revolving cylinder, similar to a revolver, capable of holding multiple rounds. This allowed for rapid follow-up shots, a crucial advantage in dynamic situations. The caliber of the AR-137 was 37 mm, a size chosen for its effectiveness in delivering a range of payloads. This caliber allowed for the deployment of various types of less lethal munitions, including solid rubber projectiles, plastic baton rounds, and chemical irritant rounds, offering tactical flexibility. The development team meticulously worked on the ballistics and projectile design to ensure a high probability of incapacitation with a low probability of fatality. They analyzed impact studies and wound ballistics data from previous less lethal weapon deployments, such as the British Army's use of plastic bullets in Northern Ireland from the early 1970s. The ARWEN's operational philosophy was rooted in the concept of minimum force. It was intended to provide security forces with the ability to de-escalate situations by warning and deterring potential threats before resorting to more forceful measures. The early 1980s saw the ARWEN systems being adopted by various police forces and military units, particularly within the United Kingdom and its Commonwealth allies. Its deployment was often associated with situations requiring a firm but measured response, such as riot control, prison security, and border patrol. Beyond its primary role in riot control, the ARWEN also found utility in specialized military applications. Special forces units, operating in environments where overt lethal force could be counterproductive, began to explore its potential for covert operations and hostage rescue scenarios. The ARWEN's effectiveness was not without controversy. Like many less lethal weapons, its use led to debates about accountability, the definition of less lethal, and the potential for misuse. Incidents involving serious injuries or fatalities, though rare, invariably sparked public outcry and calls for stricter regulation. Despite these challenges, the ARWEN's technological innovations were undeniable. Its accurate targeting system, robust construction, and the variety of munitions it could fire set it apart from previous generations of less lethal options available in the market during the 1980s and 1990s. The development continued, leading to improved models and variations designed to meet evolving tactical requirements. The ARWEN family of weapons evolved to include different calibers and configurations, adapting to the changing landscape of security and military operations across the globe. By the turn of the millennium, the ARWEN had established a significant presence in the international market for less lethal weapons. Its adoption by numerous national police forces, paramilitary units, and even some military organizations underscored its perceived reliability and versatility. One of the ARWEN's enduring strengths has been its modularity and adaptability. Different projectile types, ranging from blunt impact rounds to irritant payloads, allowed operators to select the most appropriate response for a given situation, a key factor in its continued relevance. The technology pioneered by ARWEN influenced the design of subsequent less lethal weapon systems. The emphasis on accuracy, safety mechanisms, and a varied munition capability became benchmarks for future developments in this specialized field. The application of ARWEN extends beyond mere crowd control. In peacekeeping operations, for instance, its ability to deter without escalating conflict proved invaluable in de-escalating tense standoffs between civilian populations and military patrols in post-conflict zones like Bosnia in the mid-1990s. The development of the ARWEN was a direct response to the evolving nature of conflict and security threats. As the Cold War waned, the focus shifted from large-scale conventional warfare to asymmetric threats, counterterrorism, and internal security, where less lethal options became increasingly critical. The ARWEN's operational range, typically effective between 30 and 100 meters, made it suitable for various scenarios, from defending checkpoints to dispersing unlawful assemblies. Its accuracy at these ranges significantly improved upon earlier, less precise riot control projectiles. The design incorporated safety features to prevent accidental discharge and to ensure that operators were adequately trained in its use. Proper training, emphasizing the minimum force principle, was always stressed by manufacturers and adopting agencies. In the 21st century, the ARWEN, or its descendants and closely related systems, continue to be employed by security forces worldwide. From law enforcement agencies in North America to security personnel in international airports, its utility persists. The legacy of ARWEN is multifaceted. It represents a significant step in the evolution of less lethal technology, born from the unique pressures of the Cold War. It demonstrated that specialized tools could be developed to manage conflict with reduced lethality. However, its continued use also brings renewed scrutiny. As global events unfold, from protests in Hong Kong in 2019 to demonstrations in the United States in 2020, the role and regulation of less lethal weapons like the ARWEN remain a subject of intense debate and ethical consideration. The ARWEN, a child of Cold War tensions, has traversed decades, proving its adaptability and enduring relevance. Its story is a testament to human innovation in the face of complex security challenges, a narrative that continues to unfold on the streets of our modern world. From the geopolitical anxieties of the 1970s to the contemporary challenges of public order and security, the ARWEN has carved a unique niche. Its journey highlights the complex relationship between technological advancement, military strategy, and the ongoing quest for effective, yet humane, methods of conflict resolution. As we look to the future, the lessons learned from the design and deployment of weapons like the ARWEN will undoubtedly shape the next generation of less lethal technologies. What new challenges will emerge, and how will humanity innovate to meet them? The ARWEN story is far from over. Its continued presence in arsenals worldwide ensures that its impact on security, society, and the very definition of force will continue to be felt. Join us next time as we explore another fascinating chapter in the history of military innovation.